Hello again, it's Gail here from Ornamentology, and I thought I'd do a run through of one of my new journals that I've just produced, made, designed and thought out of my head. It's called True Blue, and I've made a journal with this fabric before. I don't have a lot of this fabric. I've probably got enough to do probably a slightly smaller one more left, but it's really beautiful. It feels so nice, and the fabric actually came with this applique on it. It's a sort of a chambray type fabric, so it's sort of like a soft cotton, and it's beautiful. It's a really lovely colour, and I found this ribbon that just matched it so nicely, so I couldn't really resist it, to be honest. So here it is. So we open it up, and I've had in my stash some navy blue card, which was quite handy, and I found some navy blue labels, so it all started to get to be a bit of a theme. So these labels, I've made these little cutouts myself, and these just flip up and down. Let me start with the up ones, and there's a little pocket in here with little accoutrements in. So there's little labels, little things that you can add to the pages if you want to. Let me try and get hold of these. I don't want to come out. There you go. Little labels of things that you can, that I've found in my journeys, that fit into those little pockets that you can distribute about your journal. I curlified a paper clip because it just seemed like let me show you it, an interesting thing to do. So I just curlified a paper clip and made this envelope out of a book of etchings about Kent, and then there's just a little bit of frippery in there, to be honest, but you can put anything in these little envelopes, so that fits in there. That opens up there just as a real repository for that envelope, to be honest, and to keep these things in. So let's open this. So there's the usual gratuitous bit of advertising, which you've all seen plenty of. We don't need to go there again. A couple of sheets of paper, because you can never have too much paper, I don't think. And then I made there's a couple of word searches, and in here there's a little glycine envelope that you can use for something else if you want to, and a card. It's stamps, it's blue, and it's just a bit of red cabbage dyed paper. It's just interesting, and it links with the theme. So I've made the envelope, put that in there, and they all fit there. And in the bottom here, let me hooch this up a bit. In the bottom here, there's more little bits and bobbities that you can, if I can catch hold of it, little bits and bobbities that I've come across, made some little tags that you can either use as tags on your parcels or scatter them about your journal. Move this back down again. It's a bit up and down like a yo-yo, isn't it? And then this just whirls round here with this jute string. Oh, hang on a moment. Let's just get ourselves together. That bit folds in first, and then these go over the top here to hold it all together. That's better. I'm trying out different ways of putting all of these bits and bobs together because nobody wants to see the same thing all the time. A page from a dictionary that's about necessity. I just quite liked it, and some more of this oriental paper. I've no idea what that says, so let's hope it's not going to be too awful. And again, I went for the colourways that match the fabric. So there's lots of blues, greens, more of this elderberry paper. I seem to get stuck on that word. I don't know what's going on there. This is where I had a blob of elderberry dye in the water, and I put some leaves on it, put it out in the sunshine, and it kind of does this, because of the way it's constructed, the way that it all works out scientifically, it makes like a print. So it's just sort of like an eco print, which is quite interesting. I quite like the bits of that. Put in some lined paper this time because, you know, that's quite interesting to do. Something from a gardening book, just a bit about the early church. Now, I don't know why I chose this. It just looked interesting. And pillywinks. A pillywink is an instrument of torture used for squeezing fingers. Pillory, pillow, the peas. But anyway, it's just a bit of random nonsense, to be honest. You know, just, it's random. It has to be random because that's what it's all about, really. This has dyed so beautifully. I absolutely love it. It's alchemy, I'm telling you, it's absolute alchemy. Preparing for cooking carrots. So a Turkish carrot salad. I just like the idea that orange is opposite blue in the colour wheel, and these are just beautiful pictures of carrots, so I just put them in because I could, because that's how random it is in my head. Again, crinkly paper. I like a bit of crinkly paper. This is rather beautiful. And then there's some pockets here. This is just a little random selection of paper, just little snippets of paper that I put in this little blue folder, which is a little bit of the card that was left over. And on this side, I've got fresh tomato soup and something about bottling. It's just a bit of culinary stuff in here. I don't know why I put culinary stuff in. It just seemed like the thing to do. More of this gorgeous paper. That's going to run out soon, and that'll be sad. But more will come. More of something more interesting will come, I guess, because that's how it is, isn't it? This is all about how to grow carrots, because, you know, and how to carrot clamp. So how to store them when you've hooked them all up so they don't get frosts and diseases. It's called carrot clamping. We used to do it a lot in Lincolnshire in the winter before we had deep freezers to put things in. More of this paper that's really rather beautiful. Some more lined paper. This is about green tomato jam, because we all have plenty of that, and some things about herbs. And a gardening magazine that tells you about crab apples, which is just as random as it can possibly be. I just like the text. I like the black and white nature of the text it picks up with the envelope in the front. And so it goes. A bit more of that eco dyeing situation. More of this beautiful paper. It just feels so nice, I have to tell you. A bit more of this. This is about solids of revolution, volumes and areas. It's all a bit mathematical for me, but I just thought somebody might find it interesting. You know, there's interesting stuff to be had. This is a table of division, so it's just a times table. And I thought you might quite like that. I quite like the idea that it's pink and it clashes nicely with this. I did an embossment on this navy paper and a debossment, and just rubbed it with some silver, which is quite sweet in its own way. And it's just another little subsidiary notebook, because as we know, we usually get another little notebook with the bits of paper that don't quite fit anywhere else. I gather them up, and rather than throw them away, I put them into a little booklet. And that goes in the back in this little file folder-like type thing. I acquired myself secondhand, obviously, because why would it not be, something to make file folders, and so I thought I'd have at it in this particular book. And that's it. It's called True Blue because there's lots of things in here that are blue. Sometimes the naming of these things isn't the most original, is it? But, you know, when you've got a lot of things to name, you have to get quite creative. This, again, is written in pencil, so you can rub that out and use it as some kind of label of your own. It feels really sweet in your hand. So the next question is, how big is it? So in inches, it is 8 1/4 by 6 4/10. Nearly 6.5 we're going with. I don't think we need to be that precise, for goodness sake. And it's 20.5 centimetres by 16 centimetres. The spine is 2 centimetres, which is, what's that, about 3/4 of an inch. It's bound with 3-hole pamphlet stitch with jute thread. And there it is. It looks like this from the top. It's an actual book cover that I just covered. I think it was the actual cookery book that I've taken the innards out of from the carrot recipe, I think. But it's just lovely. It's very soft in your hand. I think it could be for anybody, really. But it's just blue and it's just lovely and I just like it. And so there it is. It's available to you. It's £35. If you're interested in this book, just let me know. I am in the throes of, which means give me 2 or 3 months, trying to put all of these journals somehow cleverly, yet to be worked out in my lack of technical brain, onto my sum up shop. I didn't even know you could have a sum up shop because I'm so dim, but I trade next door to a lady that's pretty all over it and she was telling me about it, so I may have to go and have a bit of a teaching session with her, but she knows who she is and heaven help her is all I can say. There'll not be enough cake and coffee to help with that, I don't think. But so there will be a kind of shop for these at some point, but failing that, just get in touch with me and we can sort all that out ourselves. It's not difficult, is it? I can walk to the post office and put your book in the post to you. It's not a problem at all. Anyway, there it is. It's called, I'll just recap, True Blue, and it's £35. Thank you very much for your time, and if there's anything I can help you with, if you want a custom book, just get in touch and we'll go from there. Thank you very much now. Bye bye.